What's up, everybody? Thanks for watching today, baby. All right, guys. So I just wanted to make a video about tapering Suboxone. Whoa, surprise there, right? As I have like 80 something of them. Anyways, so today what I wanted to talk about was a long Suboxone taper versus a quick or rapid Suboxone taper. If you look on YouTube, you'll see anywhere from people taking a year or two to taper off to, I've seen people doing cold turkey off 16 milligrams. Whew, I cannot imagine how someone can do that. That being said, everybody's genetics, everybody's tolerance for withdrawal is going to be different. So nobody can tell you, oh, do it in this amount of time, do it in that amount of time. Everything that I talk about on this channel, nothing is medical advice. So talk to your doctor, see if you can come up with a plan for you with your doctor. Oftentimes I find that there's plenty of Suboxone doctors that have no clue what it feels like to take Suboxone. How it feels to come off Suboxone, obviously, because they haven't been down that path in life. So I think it's important to figure out how you feel with Suboxone as you're tapering and talk to your doctor to make adjustments to what works for you. So I just wanted to get that little disclaimer out of the way. All I can do is share my experience and tons of research that I have done, and I would say thousands of hours of people watching videos about people withdrawing from Suboxone, and I've just spent way too much time on this subject. So, all right, so where would I go here? I would say, if you guys don't know, there's a few different people's channels that I could mention, but I'm sure you guys know a few of these channels, but I will say a couple to shoot off with. So just for example, my buddy Joe is doing kind of a rapid taper right now. He came from, I want to say he was up to maybe 40 milligrams of Suboxone, which is probably the highest I've ever heard of. And that's way more than any doctor more than likely would prescribe. But he has come from that high of a dose down to 4 milligrams, and he's done that in, I would say, 6 to 8 weeks. And I've watched his progress, and I know that he has a huge motivation to come off Suboxone because the mother of his children is pretty much keeping his kids from seeing him over his Suboxone abuse, I guess you could call it. So he has a fire under his ass like nobody else, obviously, to be able to go from 40 milligrams to 4 milligrams in 6 to 8 weeks. That is extremely fast to do that. And that is no easy task for anybody to do that. So to me, it depends on what you have going on in your life, how long you've been on the dose, what dose you're on. I would say for your average person starting at 16 milligrams, they've been on 16 milligrams for a while. I gotta say that I wouldn't suggest anybody to start tapering off Suboxone unless for sure, at least you think for sure, you've eliminated your drug dealer friends, you don't have easy access to pills or heroin or whatever you were taking before Suboxone. Make sure that these things are blocked off. If you had to move away for a while, that's fine. If you had to block everybody's number, if you had to get a new phone number, these are all things that I've talked about on previous videos. And you definitely want to have plenty of clean time from whatever you were abusing before Suboxone. For me, it's almost 3 years that I have not taken or abused pain pills. So I feel like it's time for me, it's been time for me for a little while now to taper off. So I have experience doing the slow taper. I have experience doing the rapid taper. In my honest opinion, I believe that the safest and most successful way is to do a long, slow taper. If you have the time, if you have a low tolerance to being uncomfortable in your own skin, if you have a low tolerance for withdrawal symptoms, if you can find, maybe I would say a year, and I know that's going to sound way too long for some people, and that's okay. Like I said, it's different for everybody, but from everything that I've seen, if you can give yourself a solid year to slowly taper the dose, to go from, say, 16 milligrams to 12 milligrams, 12 to 10, 10 to 8, 8 to 6, 6 to 5, 5 to 4, 4 to 3.5 or 3, 3 to 2.5, to 2, to 1.5, to 1, 0.75, to 0.5, to 0.25, 0.125, and then do every other day 0.125. That's exactly the dose that I would say that would work for most people. So what that could look like is, and you have to get to know what you can push, and as far as how much you can handle for the being uncomfortable, for having restless legs possibly in your lower doses when you're sleeping. You'll just have to get to know what withdrawal symptoms you get as you're tapering, and then you just have to know like your limits and not push. If you try to push past your limits, that's when you get into trouble and you freak out and you want to take more. And before you know it, you take more 2 days in a row, then 3 days in a row. Before you know it, 2 weeks have gone by, and now your dose is going back up. And before you know it, you're right back to where you started. All that tapering effort was for nothing. And chances are you're going to kick the taper off for another year. Then another year goes by. You see where I'm going with this, guys. So if you're able to take your time and do it slow, maybe 6 to 12 months, I feel like that would be ideal. That lets your brain heal itself slowly. If you have to rapid taper, if you're in Joe's type of situation to where you want to be able to see your kids again, obviously that's a little different, and he's doing the best that he can to push himself as hard as he can, as fast as he can. And you can see him struggle, as he comes down. He definitely has his bad days, as I do as well. I feel like I have really pushed myself lately the last 6 to 8 weeks. Just 6 or 8 weeks ago, I was up to 4 milligrams. As of this video, I'm just a hair below 0.5 milligrams. So I have been pushing myself very hard as well. And I've been really motivated just by watching Joe's progress. And I know that seeing people have progress can be attractive, like make you want to push yourself. But you need to find your own limits with the help of your doctor and pace yourself. That's my suggestion. You could probably, like I said, I see some people just jump right off cold turkey, but the chances of them staying sober, going from a cold turkey, it's too much of a jump. It's too much of a brain adjustment, a chemical adjustment. It's like, I've said this in previous videos, but it's like going from being a millionaire overnight and having a mansion to being broke and having no money in your bank. That's the closest thing that I can relate to going cold turkey from either opiates or Suboxone. It's a pretty similar feeling of withdrawal, in my experience. This isn't going to be like this for everybody, but if you slowly taper down, your body's not going to notice those small adjustments. And if it does, it's going to be very, very manageable. So I just think that if you can make the time, if you're not in a rush, if you're not having horrid side effects from Suboxone, try to pace yourself, guys. I believe that the long run, the slower, the safer, the better, is definitely the way to do it. So, trying to think what else I was going to say in this video. But yeah, and so as of today's date, guys, I am sitting steady. This is my second day at 0.4 milligrams. That is less than half of 1 milligram. We're talking micro doses here. And I'm not gonna lie, this morning was really challenging for me. And I know that I hit my limit. You know, I really did. I tried to push lower, and I'm just pushing too low too fast, and I got really depressed, and I just wanted to lay in bed, and just every second just sucked ass. So instead of trying to go lower again with already struggling that bad, I just matched what I did yesterday, which was 0.4. So I know when you get the momentum going, you feel like you just want to keep going really hard and keep pushing yourself. But everybody has to learn their limits, and I hit my limit today. So I just wanted to make this video there's just no way that anybody can tell you exactly how long you need to taper. It's going to be different for everybody. It depends on your diet. It depends on your fitness. It depends on your genetics, your pain tolerance. It depends on so many things, guys. So just don't rush it. This is a serious medication. Suboxone is a heavy duty medication, and there's proof of that when I jumped off at 0.25 milligrams, and I still had a very challenging withdrawal. I'm not saying it's going to be like that for everybody. I keep saying this because some people that could be a walk in the park. But for me personally, jumping off at 0.25 milligrams was incredibly challenging. And you got to think, guys, that is just that little tiny piece. Almost you can't even see it. It's so small. And that still was able to kick me into withdrawal. So if you guys are able, I keep repeating myself, and I apologize for that. I haven't made a video for a while, so I'm a little bit rusty. My weight is going up for the gym. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm feeling pretty jacked right about now. Back up to 218, 19 pounds. I'd say this is probably my pre-coronavirus size. This is like the size I like to usually be at. I was down to 210 pounds without working out for 2 weeks at the normal gym. So it feels really good to be putting some size back on, especially with me being tapering so long. Usually it's really hard to have an appetite when you're tapering like I have. So doing work, I want to get off so bad, so fast, but I know that I can't rush this part of the taper because I'll mess up, and then I'll start going up because I'm freaking myself out and just having horrible days. So I really need to, I know I'm so close, but I just can't push this last little tiny bit off. I know that a lot of people say the lower you go, the slower you need to go. And I do believe that, because it does get more challenging the lower doses that you get. That is guaranteed. Everybody across the board has said that I've seen. So the lower you go, the slower you need to go with the taper. So everybody that's out there tapering with me, I know that some days can be really hard, but just remember that we're fighting for the rest of our life, guys, because quite honest with you, time flies when you're addicted to opiates. I was just thinking back earlier today, you know, how many years opiates have been involved in my pretty much daily lifestyle. And it goes all the way back to when I got in my motorcycle accident, you know, when I was 21 years old. Okay, so I'm almost 39 years old, guys. Time just flies, and if you just let this addiction just get away from you like I did, before you know it, 1 year turns into 2 years, 2 turns into 4, 4 turns into 15 plus years. You know, I've been pretty much on Suboxone since the end of 2017, even before that, but that is when I quit using opiates altogether. So in 2017, I was going back and forth. I was flip-flopping between Suboxone and pain meds, and that was a pretty challenging time as well. And I would just say, looking back in time, I wish I would have got to a MAT program sooner. Some people do good with rehab. Some people do good with AA. You just need to find the thing that works for you. And for me, it was the MAT program, getting my dose of Suboxone legally from the doctor, prescribed, And I hope some of you guys can start your own Suboxone channel so we can slowly take the stigma away from Suboxone, because the truth of the matter is that I couldn't have gotten sober from pain pills. Of course, I'm not going to sit here and say I am 100% sober. Of course not. I'm taking Suboxone, but a Suboxone life is 10 times better than a life of chasing pain pills or whatever else you're taking. I just got lucky enough that I never escalated from pain pills, and I thank God for that, because I had a lot of friends die when they graduated to the next thing up, which is heroin. And now they have, I guess, fentanyl. Oh my gosh, I couldn't even imagine how scary that would be to be taking that strong of a drug. They say it's, what do they say, 50 times stronger than heroin, fentanyl, and that's what's floating around these days. Woo! If you guys are messing with that, please get some help as soon as possible. But I hope you guys are all having a great fucking day. Thanks for watching, and bye.